couple of quick things before the battles start. This is a training challenge videos. I finally got another one. I know it's been a while. The rule for this one is I can only use Pokemon that have a single typing. So no like Incineroar because it's fire dark, but I could use like Cinderace because it's only fire, or whatever Libero is. So that's kind of the rule. Obviously the opponent can use whatever they want. A couple things about the footage. I actually lost my original footage. So I was able to take some stock footage that Ultra had. He apparently records his with his voice, and he has like a separate stock. So he sent me a separate stock, so it's gonna be on his side of the field, but I'm gonna talk over it, so you guys know what was going on, what I was thinking, etc. So it looks just fine. It'll sound just fine. Just wanted to give you that, guys, that heads up, so there's no confusion. 400 subs. Thank you guys for that again, if I haven't before. And I'm not gonna hold you guys up any longer. So thank you guys for coming. And enjoy the video. Peace. All right, so on the lead, I went with Clefairy and Rillaboom. I think I did that because he had like a Lapras and a Gastronaut in Team Preview, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So I just wanted to bring out the Rillaboom to scare those off if they decide to come out. He leads Clefairy Terminator. So immediately here, I can't remember what move I made, so we'll go ahead and look at it together. This is on Ultra's side. Oh, actually, so right here, the clip actually skipped. I faked out and then I put the Turtonator to sleep because I think it wanted to go for that Shell Smash or like a Heat Wave or something. And if it Dynamax, then I put it to sleep, then that would be even better. My Rillaboom is Assault Vesta, so I wasn't actually worried about it taking me out if the sleep missed. And I faked out the Clefairy so that I can get the Sing off. So this turn, I U-turn out into the Blastoise, knowing I can get it safely because this thing is going to probably take another turn to sleep. And if it doesn't, it's just going to go for a fire, move into the Rillaboom anyway. So it did not matter much. So I go for the Sing on the other Clefairy, and I hit the Sing. So that is going to go night-night. So now this next turn, I think I just click Water Spout. I do have Water Spout on this Blastoise. And it's a Life 4 Blastoise too. So let me see what happens here and make sure that is exactly what happened. So on Ultra's end, it's actually interesting to see his moves, to see what he was thinking. Because he's obviously asleep, so he has to decide, like, does he want to just, like, go for moves? Does he want to switch? What exactly he wants to do? And, like, Ultra takes his time when he makes his moves. He's better than me in that regard because I don't take as much time. At least not when there's, like, not an official competition. I just go for go because, you know, got to get that content. So he's actually going to go for... Oh, he actually thought about maxing. I don't know if that would have been the play. Granted, I probably would want to do something like that too because it takes the nads. But if you stay asleep, it's like really bad for you. But if you don't stay asleep, you look like a king. So I get it for sure. So I do go for the Water Spout. Boom, shakalaka. Big damage, no whammies. A little bit of Life Orb recoil. Then I Moonblast into the Turtonator. That's big damage. I did not expect it to do that much. At all. Look at Clefairy, the little powerhouse. So his Clefairy is still asleep, his Turtonator is still asleep. This next turn, the Turtonator is just going to go down. I think he should sacrifice this here. I can't remember if he does or not. I think he does. But essentially, like, nothing that the Clefairy can do in this turn can help it. The Turtonator is going to die here because I'm just faster than it. And I'm just going to go for another Water Spout. So it's like, there's no point in any switches. You might as well just take the two losses. And this was I can't remember why I think I did Follow Me just because it just so in case something like this happened, because you know what, he did get the Shell Smash off in that initial first turn, so that's why his Turtonator is faster. The footage that got skipped, the Turtonator did get the Shell Smash off, so that's why I hit the Follow Me in case he woke up. So right now I'm looking like, oh man, this guy can actually play a little bit. Like, I've got to Follow Me for the Draco Meteor. I took out the Shell Smash Turt. I hate Turtonator. It's actually really tough to play around, in my opinion. It doesn't get a lot of credit. So I really wanted to get that thing off the field. So now we got the roll time here. And I know he's probably thinking, like, this is probably going to, like, scare us off. And I was like, there's no way he's maxing this roll time. So I'm probably not too concerned about it. So I think he already picked his move, so now it's actually on me, and I'm trying to decide if I'm going to switch attack, am I going to max this Blastoise, etc. So I do max the Blastoise, and I think I go for either a Candidate or a Hailstorm. I can't remember. Look at that Cherish Ball. I know y'all like that. That's the event Squirtle that they gave us on home recently. I know y'all like that Cherish Ball. This Blastoise is like super specifically EV too, so like it's EV to like outspeed Thundurus after Electro Web from the Alecki. And then the rest is in like its bulk and special attack, modest nature, life orb. So it does good damage, and it has decent speed under certain conditions. So he does do the follow me. Here's the Electro Web. That does no damage to either of us because we're just two big back Pokemon eating hits. So we go for the Hailstorm. We get the hail up, so that'll do a lot of residual damage to whatever's coming in. So I'm not sure. I can't remember what the last Pokemon was that he brought in. But I know at this point I'm thinking, okay, I can probably get a Cannonade off into it. And between the Hail Chip and the Cannonade, they'll take too much damage to finish out the game. So I felt really good about this game one and my chances to win it. So the grass is gone. Now let's see what his last Pokemon is. It is the Gastrodon, which you would think gives me trouble, but the issue is that all it does is just encourages me to Hailstorm the Rotom, and I have the Rillaboom in the back, right? So it's ultimately not that big of a deal. And this is why I brought the Rillaboom, right? Because I thought the Gastrodon might come, just because like on this team, on my end of the team preview, I have an Alecki, a Cinderace, and a Blastoise. And Gastrodon is pretty good into all of those, right? So you bring the Rillaboom, you scare it away, and then you don't really have to worry about it as much. I think I followed me here in case the Rotom went for something like a what's it called? Leaf Storm. So the reason he doesn't go for like Leaf Storm here, right? And it doesn't go for Electro or anything, because Electro doesn't really mean anything. Leaf Storm is just going to get followed me away. And basically, he doesn't want to reveal to me that he has Leaf Storm and Ally Switch. That's what I'm thinking. Because, like, obviously, like, why is he going for Will-O-Wisp? It's because he's trying to preserve information. That's all it was. Ultra, if you're watching this, I am judging you for having Ally Switch as well. I want you to know, I wish I had the original footage, because when I realized you had Ally Switch, man, was I annoyed. So I think he forfeits here, right? Yeah. Because there's no way for a Gastrodon to come back and win this. Even if it tries to max, I have the Rillaboom in the back, so it's not really gonna be able to do anything at all. So I think even though he forfeits, I don't know that he forfeits, so I'm still thinking about winning the game because I don't want to like sell. But then we do this and we, boom, there it goes. First match is over. All right, so here he has his team picked. So I'm thinking now he has to basically adjust to Blastoise. So I'm like, okay, I'm not even gonna lead Blastoise. I'm just gonna go Cinderace, Clefairy, I think, or was it Cinderace, Alecki? I think it was Clefairy, even though I think I probably should have gone with Alecki, but I think it didn't matter either way. I think I went with the Cinderace, Clefairy in case he decided to lead with something like the Gastrodon, because that would give it a little bit of trouble. But otherwise, I wouldn't have much issues with anything else, I don't think. All right, now it's time for those leads. Look at that fit, dripped out mane. Come on, man. So I should, oh, okay, this is perfect. So I went with Rillaboom and Cinderace because I was worried about like stuff like this, right? The Lapras I think was gonna come out. I assumed it was Water Absorb Lapras, and I think I was ended up being correct. Which is like perfect, right? Because I knew it was coming. I brought out the Rillaboom. I brought out the Cinderace because there's nothing that the Lapras can actually do to hit Cinderace once I change my type. So how did I end up playing this? So he's gonna go for probably something like a Follow Me or Protect, or a Helping Hand, because the Fake Out is probably coming, right? And it's like he has to decide whether or not I'm gonna Fake Out or Grassy Glide. I can't remember if he called it correctly or not because I can't remember what I did, but we're gonna find out together right now. So he's checking his team. This is actually a really fun way to look at this because I get to see what Ultra was thinking. So he goes with the Resonance. The thing is, right, you would think, oh, he's probably going to switch his Rillaboom. This Rillaboom takes a Resonance from Lapras. So I didn't care about eating a Resonance. Because Rillaboom on the field is just too versatile, too much of a threat. Here comes the Cinderace. I don't have to go for any Airstreams because I'm faster. Not only am I faster, but I'm faster than like everything in the back too, I'm pretty sure. So I don't actually have to go for Airstream boost. So I can just go building up like other stats, getting off big damage. So I think what I did was I Steel Spiked into the either Steel Spiked or Max Fighting move, whatever that crap is called, into the Lapras. Because I don't think he can follow. I wasn't gonna let him follow me this turn. So he has to protect Helping Hand or just get faked out. Because I'm gonna fake out, right? Because I know that the Lapras can't actually kill me. So I use this turn to boost my Cinderace's attack stat, basically. So that is like great damage into the Lapras. Like wonderful, wonderful damage. And this is basically a setup because now I know next turn he is going to follow me. So I'm pretty sure I can just Steel Spike and kill that Clefairy and get it out of my hair for the rest of the game. And like right here, yeah, I know. And actually he's a high roll. Because I wasn't supposed to do as much damage as it did. But it did do a lot of damage. So I can't remember what I did this turn. If I switched the Rillaboom out or if I just sacked it. I think I was playing pretty fast and free, just having fun. So I don't remember what I did with the Rillaboom. The smart play would be to get it out of there and save it for later. But I don't know if I made the smart play. I might have made the content play. He just left it in. So we will find out. So here comes the follow me in the Clefairy, which I'm 100% prepared for. And then he's going to... Ooh, Geyser. Oh, he's going to Lightning? Oh, he probably thinks I'm going to switch. Or he's thinking about Lightning and thinking that there's going to be a Blastoise switch. I don't even remember if I brought Blastoise in this game or not, even though I think I did. Man, Ultra is not sure what he wants to pick. He does go for the Max Guard, which is fine. So he doesn't actually go for the follow me. I think he goes... What did he go for? Yeah, we smoked that Clefairy's boost. Clefairy, even with the Violite, his defense stat is not that high. A +1 Steel Spike from Cinderace is going to KO it through Aurora Veil every day of the week. Get a little bit of healing on the Rillaboom, which essentially doesn't matter that much. Lapras gets some healing, but that doesn't matter that much either. I think we're both 2 turns are maxed down. So he brings in the Rotom here. I remember this, and I know why I remember this. Because the minute he brings this thing in, I'm thinking here, okay, he just protected on Lapras. That thing didn't show protect in the last game. This is free cheese. I'm like, oh yeah, Pyro Ball into the Rotom, Grassy Glide, and then he pulls out this nonsense. When I say I wanted to write Ultra and end the friendship right now, you should have saw my face. If I had the footage, you'd have seen my face. Like, oh, I know you did not just bring Ally Switch to this friendly. Oh, I know you didn't just do that. And like, I had all the momentum, and then I ended up fireballing into the freaking Lapras. And like, I still do a ton of damage, right? Even through like the Veil, but I would have killed the Lapras. And now I ended up getting hit with a super effective water type move because the Lapras isn't supposed to be here. It's supposed to have gotten Grassy Glide to hell. Because that's a +1 Rillaboom as well, right? So even with the Veil and at that range, I would have knocked it out. So now we have the max is over. And I'm trying to think, how did this game ended up going from here? So I'm gonna probably Grassy Glide into the Lapras, and he's gonna switch it out. So he's gonna switch it out into Turt, and I'm probably gonna... I can't remember what I did at this point. What I probably should do is just go for the moves I planned on going for, right? I should have just probably Powerball. And now the rain is up, but I still think I can get decent damage into this Rotom. So I should Powerball into the Rotom, and I should Grassy Glide and or Wood Hammer into this Lapras every time. If he switches, he switches. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like that, the switch was like a really big play, right? Because I would have just knocked out those two Pokemon. But now instead of like being down to his last, he still has three Pokemon to work with. I have Flare Blitz on the Cinderace actually because, and now so this is where things get like tricky, right? Because the rain actually matters here, because it survived, right? It doesn't survive without rain ever. And then I take the Flare Blitz recoil, and then I get hit with an Electro Web, and now I lose my Cinderace. So Cinderace went from like basically picking up all the KOs to being like dead here, which is like it's a big negative for me, because I was kind of counting on that thing because nothing could really stop it. It ended up being stopped by that. And I'm using Flare Blitz because I don't like Fireball missing. It's stupid that that move misses. It shouldn't miss at all, but it does. So I use Flare Blitz. So I think I bring in Regieleki here. So I can't remember if this is if I go for screens or webs here, but this is Screens Alecki. It's a bulky variant. Both sets of screens. It has Electro Web, and I want to say yeah, I have Thunderbolt as well. So I don't have Protect and I don't have Volt Switch. I just have dual screens. So I do this because that Turtonator is going to probably go for a Shell Smash. So before it starts getting like all fast, I want to start dropping its speed right away. And now it does have the White Herb, which sucks. But the thing about that, right? It's not a total loss because now that it's like defenses are gonna drop, it doesn't get those back like it normally would with the White Herb. So I don't take that as a total loss at all. So it just Electro Orbs back. Now he does have his speed, and I'm not sure if he outspeeds me now at this point because I'm down one and he's +2. And Turtonator's not like fast, but in Pokemon, those maths start mathing, and you never know what happens. So boom, we U-turned out into this thing. We got rid of that, which is like perfect. Now the only issue is that I think I bring in Blastoise as my last, and now he brings in Lapras, so I'm in a weird spot here. Oh no, I have Registeel. I don't have Blastoise. So I can't remember like what I did here. If I just went for like boosting or if I went for protects. I have explosion on this thing, and like what I should have did was just click it. That Turtonator is down in its defense stat. The Lapras is not at full health. I should have just clicked explosion and blew us all to hell. But I didn't. I was trying to play all like strategic and stuff because you know you want to try to make the right plays. But I said this is the one time I should have just went for the constant play and just detonated all of us. Like who cares? Big detonation is happening. Nothing you can do about it because then like I blow up his 2 mons, and like worst case scenario, even if I don't blow them up, I think the Lapras definitely dies, and then what I end up doing is I'll just bring in the Rillaboom in the end and hitting it with Grassy Glide. This thing has Scorching Sands. I thought it was gonna come out with like a fire move, and fire move we both would have lived because I'm protected on the steel, and I have a lot of bulk on the Alecki. So in the rain, I definitely feel like I would have survived the fire move. But no fire moves come out. It comes out with Scorching Sand, which is a good play by Ultra. It makes sense, right? Don't risk the not knocking out in rain at all. There's no point in risking that. So he's checking his stats to see where he is with his stuff. So I can fake out here. What do I end up doing? Also trying to decide what he wants to do. So I should have realized that he doesn't even have Protect on this Turtonator. But he probably is going to protect the Lapras, which is why I didn't blow us all up here. Because I assume the Lapras is going to like protect. And this was like a good move, right? Freeze drying right here. This is a good like call. Like you have to like take the risk in order to still win this in game. You got to take a big risk. So I get the iron defense off because now I can like get some real damage off with my body press. So now the range stopped, which is annoying because like I could have used that to protect myself against the fire moves, but now I just have like single target fire moves. So I thought maybe he has heat wave and I could just dodge heat wave. It ends up having flamethrower, so I don't think I survived that, especially not outside of rain and no special defense moves. But I am very specially bulky, right? So I'm actually not sure. We'll find out right now. Thunder is an interesting choice. You are playing with fire when you do that. Because if this doesn't kill, right? And like thunder misses, and it does, it gives me a chance. Like, so like, let me see how much. So like, if I crit there and Terminator dies, you're in a really tough spot. Thunder was a risky play. I think I would have just went for like the damage on the Registeel. Because if I crit the Terminator there and it goes down, which is a possibility, right? I end up going 1v1 versus the Lapras. And 1v1, I'm 100% going to be the Lapras because I'm going to protect, I'm going to get grass, I'm going to get leftovers. You're going to have to try to like thunder me again. And you hit, that's not going to kill me after grass and leftovers recovery. And I'm just going to body press and that Lapras is going to fall. So risky ending, but it worked out. He ends up winning the game here. All right, so game 3. In my head, I think I went with the same leads. I definitely went with Cinderace, and I did go with the same leads because in my head I'm like, okay, I definitely had the advantage, and I probably should have won that last game if not for like certain things not going my way. So I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna play the exact same way, and I'm gonna adjust the Pokemon that I have in the back, to properly clean up the end game. So instead of the Clefairy, brings like the Turtonator. So part of me is wondering, like, is he gonna max the Turtonator? Well, like he probably won't. He probably needs to get that Shell Smash up, because if he maxes it, it just does not have the damage output that it needs. So in here, let's see, is he gonna switch? So he does switch. Very interesting switch. I can't remember if I faked out the Turtonator to stop the Shell Smash or if I go for the Grassy Glide right away. Whatever I end up doing, I feel like in my head I should have just gone for the Grassy Glide right away. Cinderace is gonna get maxed. I'm gonna go for the max fighting to get the attack boost, and get big damage into that Lapras. Look at that roar. You hear that roar? Cinderace is the one. All right, so he matches the Lapras here. So yeah, I definitely feel like I should have just went for it and wood hammered that thing. But I do think I end up going for the fake out into the Turtonator. Just because like Turtonator is annoying and you don't want to let that Shell Smash up. So I don't regret the move at all. Forcing it out is just as good as faking it out. So, and like I said, I know that the Lapras cannot kill my Rillaboom in one shot. So I'm not even the least concerned about that happening. So we get the big damage off onto Lapras. We do get crit, but you know what's funny? I don't think the crit did much more. Actually, no, it did do more than the original hit did. Like, it always does more, obviously, by nature of it being a crit. But sometimes you feel like a crit feels like it should have knocked out, you know? But it does survive. Gets off the Resonance. So now what this does, right, is I'm going to Steel Spike into the Lapras, and I'm going to force to follow me. Like, if you don't follow me, then your Lapras is just going to go down. But what I should have did here is something different with the Rillaboom. I think I got to, like, I knew that he had to do the follow me. Because he knew that, I should have played the Rillaboom into that. What I should have did was I went for the Grassy Glide, which is the incorrect move because it has priority. I either U-turn or I would hammer here every single time. Because once I Steel Spike into the follow me, the Clefairy goes down, and then I would hammer the Lapras, and this game is done. I don't know why I clicked Grassy Glide. I don't know if it was a misclick or if I just wasn't thinking. But there's no reason for me to click Glassy Glide there ever. I always U-turn out or I click Wood Hammer. Always, every single time, and twice on Sundays, because that's just because, like I said, the priority of Grassy Glide means that because I'm gonna kill the Clefairy either way, right? So I don't need the double up damage. Like either way, I'm always gonna knock that thing out. I'm +1 Steel Spike KOs it through screens. It does the extra damage absolutely does not matter there. So that is a misplay in my opinion because now I'm gonna lose the Rillaboom, which I would have preferred to keep. Actually, it's not even about losing Live Room. It's the fact that Lapras is supposed to die this turn because I am supposed to kill it with Wood Hammer. It's that simple. But it's all not lost, right? Cinderace is a plus defense. It has a plus attack. Cinderace hasn't taken any damage yet. So essentially not a big deal. So he's going to go into the... no, he's going to go to the Turt, which is interesting. I'm pretty sure I was not expecting Turt to come back out here. So I bring out the Alecki. So he kind of has to defend his Lapras at this point because it has no health. It's going to die to any move that comes into it. So he has to max guard. There's not one of those things where you can like take the gamble and say, oh, maybe he knows I'm going to guard and like not go into me. But you have to guard. And I know he has to guard, so I'm pretty sure I either double up into the Turt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I double up into that Turtonator. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, you have to guard here. Try a little light screening, actually. You know what? Yeah, because I need to bulk up my side of the field and prepare for the end game. I just use Airstream because I think that does the most damage into Turt because it resists Steel and it resists, what else? It resists Steel and it resists, Fire. Duh. So yeah, and I do think, yeah, it resists both. I got the screens up, and I know I can kill Turt at any time. So even like with the Shell Smash, Cinderace has the Airstream boost. So it doesn't matter. And Alecki has no speed drops, so the speed boost on this thing does not matter at all. And the defenses coming back mean nothing because its health is already below 50%. And then there's the Lapras, but the Lapras is out of max, so its damage output is going to be lacking. And I feel like I can kill that thing anytime I want between Cinderace's Iron Head / high jump kick and the Thunderbolt and the Alecki. So I'm pretty sure I go into this what's it called? This Turt to get it off the field. Pretty sure that's what ends up happening. So he switches out the Lapras, trying to protect it, which is right? You got to protect it. But I really just wanted to get rid of this Turtonator. I figured the switch was coming, and like I wasn't gonna. So we get great damage into this Rotom, which is awesome. It does have a berry though, which lets me know it's a bulky variant, and not like I don't think it's like super fast, super offensive. So the Draco Meteor comes out into us. We do lose the Cinderace. So I do wonder why I didn't double up. He gets the crit. You know what? The crit ends up mattering. I didn't think about this in the game, but we have the screens up. I actually do the cock, but I do think the crit ends up mattering there because we did get the screens up. And we got the screens up to protect ourselves from boosted damage like that. So it is unfortunate that Cinderace died both these games in the ways that it did. So now I have the Blastoise, right? He has 3 Pokemon on my 2, but I'm still in I'm still in an advantage in a sense where his Pokemon are all taking big damage. I have screens up. I have the fastest mon on the field. So then he is gonna probably go into the Lapras here, switch it in because it's gonna take anything else is gonna take big damage. But I don't know if the Lapras switch is super sick. Cause do I go for Electro Web here? I can't remember if I go for Electro Web or if I just go for Thunderbolt to get rid of that Turtonator. Because it is boosted, right? That boost is annoying. That boost is just too annoying to deal with. Yeah, so I get damage off into both. And because I slow down the Turtonator, I'm not. No, actually, no, I don't go first. I shouldn't go first. Actually, no, I might go first. Let me see. Scorching Sands into Alecki. So this is why you get light screen up, right? Because look how little damage that does. He doesn't get the burn, which is annoying. Like the burn is definitely annoying, but like it is what it is. It's not like that big of a deal. So we just got the crit on the Cinderace. We got the burn. And I think something else happens here that was annoying as hell too. Let's see how this turn plays out. So I know he's going to protect, so I think I go for another Electro Web just to slow down the turret. And then once I slow down the turret, it's either going to die to webs or I'm going to kill it with Blastoise. That thing does not get to attack anymore this game. I'm sorry. Now the Turtonator is slowed down back to neutral. And at neutral, Blastoise is just too fast. So that thing is done. I'm not dealing with that thing anymore. You get a chance to get rid of the Turtonator, get rid of the Turtonator. So this is where the ally switch mind games come into play. Like now that I know he has it, I'm thinking probably doesn't go for it here. I think what I probably should do is go for an Electro Web, but I think I just go for the win and I go for the Thunderbolt into Lapras and the Ice Beam into Rotom is what I end up doing. I probably should have just went for the E-Web just to be like, I should have went for an Electro Web and maybe like a Protect. Probably what I should have did to like scout for the ally switch. But I'm thinking no way does he do it again knowing that I know he can do it and I might like reverse targets. So I'm thinking maybe I'll just play it straight up and see what the chips fall for me. But no, I was incorrect. Ally switch does come out. So the Thunderbolt goes into the Rotom and the Ice Beam goes into Lapras. So now he's gonna freeze dry me. And look what happens when I get freeze dried. We survive, but it don't matter because we're frozen. So now Blastoise can't do anything. And so at this point, I'm starting to like tilt. I'm like, man, we got the there was the crit, the burn, which was chipping away the Alecki's damage, and then we got the freeze. I'm like, are you kidding me? And even at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm still probably gonna win this game because Blastoise may be frozen, but like they still have to deal with the Alecki. And the Alecki is still the fastest thing. It's still behind screens. So I went for the Thunderbolt just to like, even if I go for the Thunderbolt here and I don't, and he protects, I don't die to anything from this Rotom. Not behind screens, and I die because I get crit. And this is light clay max bulk Alecki. So like with so screens were still up. So without that crit, I do survive. So on this next turn, all I do here is I Thunderbolt the Lapras. It dies, and now the Rotom is -2. And in order to kill, it has to use Leaf Storm -2 while Light Screen is up. And I just don't think Rotom -2 through screens would beat both Alecki and Blastoise. Like even like look at that, like single target Electro Web does like nothing to us, and like we're still frozen, so like we have no chance to even move here. And then we take the freeze dry, and boom, man, this was like rough because you already had like the handicap of the Mons I could use, but man, the RNG was not kind at the end of that game. But it was fun, and I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Ultra for participating. Make sure you guys check out his side and enjoy his view.